Alright everybody, welcome back to another edition of OOFDAH Premium. I'm your old uncle, Darren Walters, and it's great to have you here. And in this exciting edition of OOFDAH, we're going to discuss a new aspect of gameplay. Once again, just so everyone is clear about this, this is a legacy project, which means it'll be adapted and changed and built upon for as long as I'm alive. And when I'm deceased, the idea is the younger generations can pick it up and turn it into their own project and figure out what rules to discard and what rules to keep in order to just maximize the pleasure and fun and the intrigue and suspense and mystery and surprise that is OOFDAH. Okay, and so it may be difficult for those future generations to just let things be, right? It's very easy for artists to revisit their work and go back and say, hey man, if I just touch this up a little, it'll somehow be improved. And many times that's the wrong decision. So it's very true that you can be wrong about your own work, right? And so bearing all of that in mind, as far as OOFDAH goes, we want to make sure that you understand the limits of what I can do, and the concept of passing the baton on to the next generation. Okay, and so today what we're going to discuss is a new possibility in the game, and that is Gremlins. Okay. And so the idea is whenever you conduct a die roll 6, here we got a die roll 6, on someone else, that's a sabotage attack action. Remember, that's raid, return, remove, reveal, and reverse. Whenever you do that, there's going to be an additional item to pick up, and that is a Gremlin token. Now right now I think it's going to be a token, I don't think it's going to be a card. Actually, I don't know which is cheaper to manufacture. I would probably say the card. So maybe in fact the Gremlins are a card, who knows. But I do like how simple and elegant OOFDAH is, aesthetically, just from an artist standpoint. And I don't know that I want to add on too much extra stuff. But in the meantime, we're just going to use the trade tokens for our purposes here as the Gremlins, right? And so if I roll a die roll 6 and I sabotage, attack someone, I'm going to go ahead and pick up a Gremlin token, right? And I'll place it on my farm. And so the idea is when I want to deploy the Gremlin, we do know what a Gremlin is, right? It's a creature that attacks, causes mayhem and destruction. I think it's associated with the Air Force or, phantom sprockets and screws missing, right, on planes, and they're trying to figure out what it was. And I think they would just say that was Gremlins. I could be wrong about that, though. So anyway, but the idea is the Gremlin is going to attack your opponents, right? And so when you do that, I roll the die roll 6, I've acquired my Gremlin card. I'm going to be able to deploy it once again on any productive farm roll, 4, 5, or 6, right? So in this case it's a 5. And it's going to take up one action, right? And because placing a Gremlin on somebody's farm is a big deal, what it means is if I do this, instead of attacking the crops directly or the assets, what's going to happen is the Gremlin actually slows your production down and increases the costs to produce your vegetables, okay? And you're saying, how does it do that? Well, in the normal example, remember it costs 1 token to do each phase of productivity, right? The disking, seeding, cultivating, and harvesting. And so since it costs all that, it's going to cost 1 token. if you add the gremlin, it's going to be 2 tokens per crop per phase of production. Okay, and so obviously, if you what naturally follows from that is if you want to grow multiple crops at the same time and disc seed, cultivate, and harvest those, well, then what's going to happen is your gremlin is going to double the price of that. So instead of 2 tokens per crop produced, it's going to be in fact 4, right? And there's an added possibility if, as long as you continue piling on gremlins. Now, I don't know how many gremlins there are going to be in the game. I haven't quite figured that out yet. I'm thinking there should probably just be the same number as there are players. But if I place another gremlin on a farm, well then it doubles again, right? So instead of 2 tokens for a single crop, it would be 4. And instead of 4 tokens for multiple crops, 4 for each crop, it would in fact be 8 per crop. Okay, and so that's a real key difference in the game, whether or not you had gremlins. So the next question is, well, how do I get rid of this mess? I don't want this on my farm. So the way to eliminate the gremlin, there's actually 3 ways to do it. Okay. And so the first way is you can actually give up one of your equipment items, right? So this grower, they have the seeder, and that's a steep price to pay, right? You can give up the seeder. By giving it up, I mean returning it to its place of origin in the resource shop, right? Okay, so if I do that, that's fine. But what a price, a high price to pay, right? So what if you don't want to do that? Well, there's 2 other options. One option is you can wait until the growing season renews, right? So when the growing season renews, we go back to cucumbers. Then the gremlin is removed from your farm, okay? You no longer have to deal with it. And then finally, the last way you can remove a gremlin is to it's kind of a convoluted process. The idea is when the gremlin is on your farm, it's going to be munching on your vegetables in your weight cube tray. And what it's going to do is it's going to take your most valuable crop from the tray. And so how do I indicate that? Well, underneath the gremlin, I would, in this case, their best crop is squash, right? So I take the squash and I put it below the gremlin, right? That means he's munching on it, okay? It doesn't mean it's removed from the game, okay? So you're not going to move the squash up in the market, right? Just because that happened. But every time it's your turn, let's say we go on to the next turn. Well, now they're going to take my corn. So now he's munching on the corn. So what can I do about this? Well, what you can do is if you have 3 crops of the same type, you got 3 corn, chard, spinach, whatever it is, as long as there's 3 of them, yeah, what you can do is you can substitute out the crops that were already munched on and you can make a trade. So, if I had, let's say for instance, let's look for cucumbers, I guess. So this grower has 3 cucumbers in their weight cube tray, luckily enough. And so they're going to take their 3 cucumbers, and instead of putting it back in the draw bag or putting it in a discard, what you're going to do is you're going to place those 3 cucumbers underneath your underneath your gremlin, like so. And what's going to happen is you're going to put the crops back in the weight cube tray, right? Because they're yours again. You've rescued them, okay, from the ogre, or whatever analogy you can think of. And so what's going to happen is the gremlin is going to be removed, and then the the 3 crops that you lost that are the same type, they're going to go in the discard pile. Okay, so then I would move the corresponding crop up 3 places in the market. Okay, right, so that takes care of the 3 different ways you can eliminate a gremlin from being a leech on your farm and sucking you dry, right? And so that's a great concept. I haven't thought much about other aspects of the gremlins. How many should there be? Should there be a limit of 1 per grower? Should there be 2? Because again, the circumstances that lead up to acquiring a gremlin are simply conducting a sabotage raid, or return or remove or reveal or reverse on die roll 6. Okay, and so if those conditions are met on a fairly frequent basis, that means well, maybe I need a lot of spider crops, or I mean gremlins. Okay, so I think that's going to take care of this week's OOFDAH. If you have any more interesting ideas, you can let me know. Just write me a Gmail at sretlaw2@gmail.com. But that's a surprising addition to OOFDAH. I really didn't think, considering my age, station in life, maybe cognitive decline, I didn't really think I could come up with this. But, this is actually a very exciting feature. It adds quite a bit of drama and suspense. And so these are all great things. Alright, so I think that's going to do it for me for now. Until next time, keep on playing OOFDAH with your friends and family. Don't forget, of course, you can order this on boardgamegeek.com, right? You can either order the OOFDAH Lite or the OOFDAH Complete game. And then the other thing you can do is, I think I'm gonna branch out to Facebook Marketplace. So if you're a big, heavy Facebook user or something like that, maybe look for OOFDAH there. I think you have to type in the words though, okay? Just to be clear about that. But anyway, just look for the places where OOFDAH is sold, and enjoy your games. All right, till next time, see you later. Adios.